Am I the a-hole for marrying a man who proposed to me while I was on the toilet? Original post. It's not as bad as it sounds. My friends are just obsessed with that part, I think. My 32 female fiancé Peter, 30 male, had arranged a candlelight dinner in a hotel room. There were flowers, rose petals, and music. There were my favorite dinner and my favorite dessert. Peter was in a tuxedo. I was wearing a dress. That evening was so amazing. While I was eating, my IBS started acting up. I ran to the bathroom. It was mortifying, but at least I was comfortable enough with Peter to allow him to come in. I was apologizing for ruining our evening while I was on the toilet, and he said it's okay. I felt like he wanted to ask me to marry him the whole evening. I told him I love him, and he said I love you too. I told him I'm sure you'll take care of me in sickness and in health. That comment made Peter smile, and he got down on one knee. I didn't care that this was the situation. I was so happy I say yes. I felt like he wouldn't have asked that evening if I didn't say the in sickness and in health comment. I told my best friend Kate, 33 female, and another friend Bailey, 33 female. I told them the truth. Kate said it's weird, creepy, and an a-hole move on his part. I explained that he likely would have put it off if I didn't mean the health comment. Kate said I was desperate and that I should have some respect for myself. Bailey said if I thought Peter would ask another time, then I should have let him ask another time. Before talking to them, I thought I have the sweetest proposal story. Now I feel like an a-hole caused my amazing fiancé to have a terrible story. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. This is the cutest story. Your friends are actually just jealous because they don't have someone who loves them and will put up with their shit. He is an absolute keeper OP. Congratulations on your engagement. Not the a-hole. The cutest story? Wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I think it is funny and cute with some romance thrown in. You know, without a doubt, this man loves you and everything about you. Congratulations. Not the a-hole. As long as you and him are happy, who cares about anyone else? A lot of women have very rigid ideas about what's romantic. Don't listen to them. I was once told by a female coworker that it was terrible my boyfriend had gotten me a car battery for Christmas. It was what I'd asked for, since I hate dealing with car stuff. He even installed it for me. After I explained this, she told me I was wrong to have wanted this. We never talked much after that. Your story sounds very sweet to me. And your fiancé sounds like the kind of guy who'll stick with you when things are shitty. Sorry, couldn't resist. Mine stuck with me through cancer, by the way. That's way more important than a bunch of lazy hearts and flowers crap. Your boyfriend listened to you, got you what you wanted, and knew it would overall be a good present. That's what most people want in their partner. It was a lovely, thoughtful gift. Now for the first update. The proposal happened on Saturday, and I had been holding off telling my parents and Peter's parents. Both sets of parents live in a different state. Tonight, we told my parents first via video chat. My parents are 58 male and 58 female. My mom is a massive fan of romance, and I knew she would ask about the proposal. Peter and I told my parents the whole proposal story. My mom was over the moon. She said proposing like that is better than any idea she had. My dad said it just proves the love Peter has for me. My mom asked if she can tell others, and I said sure. I had asked my mom to be my maid of honor. After getting engaged, my pick for maid of honor was either going to be Kate or my mom. I didn't pick my mom to spite Kate. I'm not punishing Kate. Kate's initial reaction to the proposal story would just make her being the maid of honor awkward. Plus, my mom is so happy with our union, and she would love to plan a wedding. Then we told Peter's parents via video chat, Chuck, 55 male, and Linda, 59 female. His parents really appreciated a comedy. Chuck thanked us for giving them the gift of telling that amazing story, if we're comfortable with that. I told him we're confused. Linda said she's so happy for us. Peter told his father that he wants him to be the best man. Lastly, we told Peter's sister, Juliana, 27 female, via video chat, as she lives in another state. She had her father's sense of humor. I hope Kate and Bailey will be bridesmaids. Yes, Kate and Bailey are single. I've been best friends with Kate since the 9th grade, so this little disagreement wouldn't ruin our friendship. Second update. Kate and Bailey both agreed to be bridesmaids when I asked via message. Kate apologized via message, and she also sent me a video of her apologizing. Kate said she appreciates that I'm still letting her be a key part of the wedding. She said that after several days of thinking about the proposal, she realizes how loving it was. She said if she had IBS, she would appreciate a guy who treats her like how Peter treats me. Bailey apologized via message. Her apology was brief, and she admitted in it that Kate told her to apologize. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter, "Yeah, I get it, you hate him," when she went on a father-daughter trip? So I, 42 female, have 2 daughters. Emma, 17 female, and Lucy, 10 female. The issue revolves around my husband, who is Emma's stepfather. Emma's dad passed away when she was younger, and I remarried 3 years ago. She and my husband don't get along at all, and she makes it clear she dislikes him. My husband has tried to bond with her, but Emma shuts him out completely, refuses to talk, and ignores him. We all know she will never see him as a father figure, and we are fine with it. Here's where it gets tricky. When Emma was younger, her bio dad would take her to father-daughter outings. We have a lot of pictures of those. Lucy was too young to remember any of them. We thought it would be nice to do it again, since Lucy does see her stepdad as her dad. Specifically, they would go to a pumpkin patch and then carve them. They went to the pumpkin patch yesterday and had a great time. Lucy and my husband really bonded and had a good time. The issue is Emma. She is mad that it took over the tradition with Lucy, that my husband stole the tradition, and I am disrespecting my late husband's memory. I was exhausted from hearing the same arguments over and over. So I snapped and said, "Yeah, I get it. You hate him. But your sister sees him as her dad and doesn't have these memories like you do. Are you really going to ruin this for your sister? And no one owns going to a pumpkin patch." She has been angry and calling me an insensitive jerk. She is also getting on Lucy's case for going with my husband. My mom thinks I am a jerk here and I need an outside opinion. Edit. Before I get a million "put her into therapy" comments, we tried twice. She would just sit there. For months, even with different therapists, she would not talk. She just sat there. Not the a-hole. He didn't steal anything. Does Emma now believe that for forever now, anyone who goes on a father-daughter excursion can't? How narcissistic and self-centered. That is just plain silly. The only person here who is being disrespectful is Emma towards Lucy, trying to deny her the love and support from your husband. And that should not put up within no uncertain terms. Tell her to butt out. That's another issue. It is definitely hurting their relationship. Lucy sees him as her dad, and Emma hates it. Emma's going to end up pushing Lucy away from her. Or pushing Lucy away from the stepdad. Why not start a totally new tradition where all 4 of you go together? It did sound like you were trying to recreate something that was once owned by your daughter and their bio dad. Oh, that would be worse. Trying to make her have family time with a guy she hates. Not to mention, she would make a whole point about how he isn't family to her. That would be a no. So what are you trying to do to help with the adjustment for your daughter? Did she receive grief counseling when her dad died? What can you do to help someone who doesn't want help? OP mentions they tried therapy twice. If my spouse died and my child wasn't interested in therapy, I certainly would research other ways to try to help them. I would ensure her father's memory is still honored. May do something just with her daughter that her dad would have liked. OP comes across as a little dismissive of her daughter's feelings. I guess some people haven't heard of, you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. They already tried therapy. Twice. And she didn't cooperate. She doesn't have to treat her stepfather like a father figure, but that doesn't mean that he can't bond with his other stepdaughter just because she has trauma. You're not the a-hole here. It sounds like you've tried to be understanding of Emma's feelings, but at the end of the day, Lucy deserves to create her own memories too. It's not fair for Emma to gatekeep that tradition, especially since she's not open to accepting your husband as a father figure. You were just trying to find a balance between the 2 girls, and that's completely valid. Next story. Am I the a-hole for letting my daughter attend a Halloween party her stepsister is being excluded from? My ex-wife and I share 2 kids. Our daughter is 15 and our son is 13. We divorced 11 years ago, and we share custody of the kids 50-50. My ex is remarried and she has a stepdaughter in her home the same age as our daughter. My ex and her husband have tried to make the kids close, but especially the two girls because they're the same age. This has not worked. I know from my kids' time with me that they have zero closeness to her, and my daughter in particular doesn't like her stepsister. From speaking to my ex about issues in the past, I know her stepdaughter has trouble with other kids liking her, and she gets excluded by them more frequently than she's included by others. This was something my ex wanted me to address with our kids before. My daughter and her best friend were invited to a Halloween party. This year, the kids are with me for Halloween, so she asked me for permission to go. I spoke to the hosting parent, and I felt like it was safe for my daughter to go under the circumstances. My ex discovered I have given our daughter permission to go, and she was furious. She asked why I hadn't offered to take her stepdaughter to begin with, because she learned I was dropping the girls off and picking them up. Then she mentioned her stepdaughter was excluded from the party, and that every other kid in their grade is included. She felt that this meant our daughter should not be attending either, in support of her stepsister. She tried to forbid me from allowing our daughter to go. I told her it wasn't a decision she could make. She argued that I should be encouraging a supportive sibling dynamic between the girls, and that it seems like our kids only support each other and not their stepsister, who they've known for more than half their lives. My ex told me I'll be a real a-hole to a 15-year-old girl if I let our daughter go to this party. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Your daughter is her own person. If she wants to go to a party, has your permission, and you are her guardian for that period, then you are in the right to allow her to go there. You aren't encouraging any bullying or discrimination of your ex's stepdaughter, and you certainly wouldn't be encouraging any supportive sibling dynamics between the girls by punishing your daughter by not allowing her to go. My only concern with the party was, would it be a safe space? It's not going to be the type of party where teens are drinking, etc. And there are enough adults present that I feel good about it. Adults I would trust. So yeah, I feel like that would be the only reason for me to say no. Although I am not a parent myself, I take it I would feel the same like you about the party. You did your homework, found that it is a safe environment for your kid to socialize and have fun, and you can sleep peacefully at night without worrying about something happening there. By the way, do you know why ex's stepdaughter is excluded from the party? That's always my concern with parties. A lot of teen parties making the local news in recent years for the worst of reasons. So I always try to make sure my kids are safe. Not exactly, but I believe it's all coming from her being excluded just in general at school. It sounds like she is regularly the kid left out. Not the a-hole. I can understand why your ex-wife is struggling with his situation. It's hard to raise children under the same roof who are having two very different social experiences at school. But punishing your daughter for that isn't going to magically make the situation better. It's just going to further the gap between the two of them. Encouraging a supportive dynamic between the girls goes both ways, but it can be as simple as your daughter acknowledging that this is likely tough for her stepsister and remaining kind to her in the home. My ex-wife doesn't see it as a punishment. She views it as something my daughter would do for her brother, which is true, so she should do it for her stepsister too. That was something she really emphasized to me while we spoke. She pointed out how protective she is and would be of her brother, and how she doesn't give a crap about her stepsister and how she's treated. This has been an issue for her for years. But she also won't answer if roles were reversed, if her stepdaughter would do it for ours. Deep down, she recognizes it's both girls who are disinterested, but she finds it easier to focus on ours. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother and sister-in-law there's nothing I can do about their Christmas card photos being unsendable? My brother and sister-in-law got their Christmas card photo taken about a month ago now. They used a friend of mine who does family photos. This has apparently encouraged them to expect a lot out of me, because now they have a problem and they don't know what to do. My brother and sister-in-law have been married for 3 years and have a 6-month-old together. Sister-in-law also has 2 older kids, 13 and 11, from her first marriage. She was a widow when my brother met her. They're not the nicely blended family they wanted to be, and her kids from the first marriage didn't want to be in the photos. There was a huge battle to take them, but the kids looked a mix of angry and disgusted in all of them. Like legit glaring and looking ready to puke, while my sister-in-law and brother are smiling and the baby looks peaceful. A couple of them even show how distant they want to be from my brother and the baby. It's like they're leaning away from them. Sister-in-law said the photos are unsendable, and there's no way she could let family and friends see them. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. They complained to me 3 times so far, and the last time they told me I need to do something and fix it. I asked them what they expected me to do, that I'm not the kids' favorite person or even a trusted adult in their eyes, and I can't magically erase their expressions. My friend was honest with them while the photos were being taken, but they didn't take it serious until they saw them. I told them after back and forth that there's nothing I can do about the photos being unsendable. Sister-in-law told me I'm not being very supportive. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. What is there to support? Your brother and sister-in-law forced her 2 older kids to go and have family photos taken, and they weren't happy, and it showed. Your brother and sister-in-law need to get real and understand that forcing things like this will only drive the kids away the second they turn 18. 100%. I used to be a professional photographer. I quit because of people like OP's sister-in-law. There's nothing I can do if your kid won't cooperate. And no, you can't have a refund because your kids were brats and refused to smile. They should not have forced the older kids. Not the a-hole. Our blended family isn't, and the photos we had taken reveals that. They're focusing on the wrong thing here. The photos aren't the problem. The fact that the older kids likely resent their new half-sibling and are clearly unhappy with the current situation is the problem. If they want to paper over the cracks, tell them to deep fake some smiles onto the older kids. But really, they need to put some effort into actually tackling the root cause of the unsendable photos. The camera doesn't lie. They could also do a photo collage for their Christmas card. Smiling photos of each of the kids from that year that were not taken at the forced family photos. If they don't have any pictures of the kids looking happy from the last year, then the sister-in-law has bigger problems and needs to reevaluate her life choices and put her kids in therapy.